diggity dog. Drinking, diggity dog. Drinking.
Welcome to the 41st T40's podcast. You're here with me, Ryan.
Michael.
Alex.
Yeah, we have some good stuff. Totally threw me off here. We have some stuff to talk about today. We're going to do podcast emails and podcast voicemails and all the other fun stuff. I'm just failing today.
It's because you didn't write a list.
Yeah, I need to write these things down. We're going to talk about beer of the week. Kevin's going to talk about crony stuff.
Crony.
Yeah.
Crony?
Yeah.
What? Well, actually, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it. Is that a joke?
It was a pun.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good.
Sitting on the street with my cronies.
Did he even say the email and the number?
Yeah, I did.
No. No, he didn't.
No,
It's
you didn't.
podcast T40.com, 218-666-8407.
Yeah, that. I was getting to it.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you
he
weren't.
totally didn't say
You are terrible at hosting.
Yeah, I am. Mike's going to talk about jingles. That's cool, too. We're going to
Yeah.
do movies, maybe, and then top five. Mike already said the voicemail number, so we got some emails. Alex, go ahead.
Got one email.
Well, we got lots of emails, but they were all very long.
Yes.
They were all written, but it's hard to...
If you want us to talk about your email, it's probably got to be somewhat.
We read it. If you
short.
just want us to read it, that's fine. But if you want us to say it on air, then don't write an essay. But it's okay. All right, so this one's from a person that doesn't, not a real name. It says Lavaria. I don't know if that's a name or whatever. Maybe. I don't know.
Just hurt that person's
No idea.
feelings.
Oh.
Here's a real name.
It doesn't say a last name. I don't know. Whatever.
It is a
This person, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl because it's Lavaria. So, since you're called Tipping 40s, why don't you guys have a 40 on me for something like that? Bad English. I've never drank before, so I have no idea how much this stuff costs, but here's a dollar amount they gave us, which is way more than a 40 costs.
Yeah.
40s cost about $3, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe they're trying to buy 40 for each
And they
of us
said,
or
oh,
something.
sorry if it's not enough. Oh, it's plenty. I'm sure we could probably buy many 40s with this. So, thank you.
Yeah.
They say, why
Maybe
don't you...
grossly overestimating the quality of the beer in a 40 ounce.
Yeah, get a 40 of like some Dunkel from some
Woodcut.
Trappist ale or something.
Yeah,
And they say,
woodcut.
why don't you do a segment on first-time drinkers so people have never drank and have no idea what they like and some suggestions to start. I know you do a beer of the week, but maybe you could do a more in-depth thing. I'd love to hear a wine segment, as I'd rather drink wine than beer. If I started, really have no idea what to get if I start.
We could do a wine segment.
Yeah,
I
knows a
like
lot about
wine.
wine.
I like wine a lot. Here's the thing. When you start drinking, nothing's going to taste that great. Some things will taste okay,
Yeah.
but you're going to have to build a palate first.
Well, you develop a
for
taste.
stuff.
It's
Yeah.
the same reason that no kids like vegetables. It's like you grow up and you start to develop taste for it.
No,
and
because
then-
vegetables are icky.
Yeah, exactly. They are icky.
So
Okay.
I guess we could do a first-time beer segment, maybe next
Yeah.
week or something.
I wouldn't mind talking about that.
Hey, now you can do a segment. I won't have to think about one forever,
that's
Ryan.
Yeah, a good first time beer would be like a bourbon cask ale or
Yeah,
something. That
I was actually going to go
18%.
for like an Imperial IPA or something.
Yeah, that'd be
First-time
good.
beer.
Spit it out instantly.
Like chalk.
Okay, we got a voicemail too, I think.
Chupacabra beer.
Oh,
Yeah,
You'll like every beer after that, so.
we do have a voicemail.
That beer was
if
awful.
you drink anymore.
All right, shut up.
Hello, T40's. This is Matt, a.k.a. MJG. Do any of you guys chew gum? If you do, what are some of your favorite brands or flavors or styles? Stick, gumball, what have you. And if you don't chew gum, why not? Bye.
I actually,
I gotta say though, that's a good voicemail because it's short to the point.
It is.
Make
yes.
voicemails
I actually
like
chew
that.
gum kind of often because I don't like having the feeling of eating food in my mouth. So I eat buy like that Element gum or the fuck it is, the sugar-free gum.
Of like
It's
after.
made by Wrigley's, but
Yeah.
it's all by the same fucking people. But the best gum, of course, which I had in here yesterday, but everyone ate it all, is Big League Chew.
You see, you said Big League Chew, but I heard Bubble Tape. Because as
Bubble
a kid,
Tape.
you just shoved
Bubble
all
Tape
that in your
sucks.
mouth.
Big League Chew is fucking delicious, except it's disgusting, but it's awesome because it comes in strips and strands.
It's totally not supposed to mimic tobacco.
Yeah, and you can chew like a pro.
Not at all.
Yeah, feel like a pro. I hate gum.
He really hates gum.
I mean, if there was like a top 5 list for me of things I hate the most, gum may be near the top. And the reason why is because people have the worst etiquette with gum.
They do. That's true.
They play with it, and then they get spit all over their hands, and then they just do gross shit with it, and then they touch things. And I'm not a germaphobe. I mean, you guys could probably attest to this, but it's like if someone was spitting all over their hands in front of you and then went, hey, let me shake. It's like, that's like wet and sticky and gross. And then also, I just don't like fake fruit flavors, and that's kind of gum's MO. It's like,
well, yeah, that's what gum is.
Hey, do you like strawberries? Oh, I love strawberries. Do you like this that's supposed to taste like strawberry? That doesn't taste like strawberry. I don't know what the fuck that is. That's awful.
Gum just tastes like sugar, really.
Yeah.
It all just tastes like candy. It's pretty much what it is. I don't particularly like gum. I'll chew it occasionally. I found that with gum, like, I don't know. Once I chew on it for maybe about 10 minutes, my jaw starts to get sore. And, like, it starts to hurt. I don't like chewing for that long, and I don't really care about gum. I don't hate it, but...
Yeah, same here. I don't really like or dislike. I'm just apathetic about it.
I'll chew gum once in a great while, but I never buy any.
I know Mike loves the sound of chewing gum, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
the people that go... like that when they chew.
Yeah,
it's
these
like...
fuckers in the boom mic when we were shooting our films would chew into the mic before the scene started, and it was like...
I love
the
doing that,
sound...
too.
I can't even explain how detailed. If you chew into a shotgun mic from less than a foot away, it's pretty disgusting. It's like...
It's like those old Carl's Jr. commercials. Oh, I couldn't see it.
Oh, yeah, it was gross.
Okay, so good voicemails. Keep them coming.
Do you want to do the other one?
What other one?
We'll do the other one.
Okay.
It's short.
Hey, you fucks.
Hey.
I just want to call in saying that Benson's fucking name, your ideas about our political system, I have to completely agree with.
Thanks.
All the
Benson
points
for
you made
president.
are valid
Yeah.
points. You actually guys, good job on the fucking podcast lately. Bring back Teach Me. Because I want someone to teach me about anime. Because that shit is hilarious.
By someone he means Alex.
Yeah. And by hilarious, he means retarded.
Yeah, you know, I don't like the Teach Me segment, but Alex does like the Teach Me segment, and so we're discussing whether to bring it back or not. But
I like to
when
not
it
do
works.
random stupid shit like
yeah.
we did torture, like I said, and he did drinking games, that's cool. I want to hear about that weird stuff. It's like just something off topic.
Yeah.
that we can talk about, like chewing gum. Like we said.
Jingles.
Next week I'll teach about beer, so...
Okay.
I do agree, though, on a general level. I think the podcast lately has gotten a lot better within the past few months, and I think that we should probably put it on iTunes also.
I really felt that was going to get done this week. But
Well,
I didn't.
I'm probably going to take a day off of work next week, so I'll do something about it.
Good. No, I actually do think so, though. I think the podcast has gotten a lot better, and
Yeah.
I think that it's probably the best thing we put out every week. So
yeah, so share it with your friends on the social works.
yeah, I feel like unlike the other stuff we do, a lot of the other stuff's very niche, but I think that the podcast kind of has a general good vibe to it. I think people who don't normally listen to podcasts might like it. So spread it, send it to your friends, have them listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
Cool. Beer of the week is Beck's by the Burali Beck's. It's just a German Beck.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's N-Beer, the guys who own...
NBev.
NBev, yeah, sorry.
They own Budweiser.
Yeah.
It's a German Pilsner, 5%. I drank some of it last night. It's kind of garbage. So instead I'm going to talk about my friend who brought over his own brew that he made in his house. It was
Jug beer.
It was better than jug beer. It was he said it was an imperial nut brown, but it tasted more like a double, like a Belgian double. The thing was delicious.
Yeah, he put a bunch of fucking Canadian maple syrup and brown sugar in
Yeah,
it.
it was really tasty, and it had a good malt flavor to it going.
Yeah,
Pretty nice.
I didn't even know he brought beer. No one even told me that.
He poured it in the table in front of you.
No?
You were sitting there. I was sitting next to you.
He didn't tell me that was some kind of beer that he made then.
Oh.
No
Well,
one
there
told
was
me
two
that.
conversations going. It
Yeah,
doesn't
there were
matter.
about 30,
People
but-
were drunk.
Yeah. In any case,
True.
Beck's is kind of bad. Don't drink that.
Yeah, it's
it's
You guys need to stop picking
tolerable.
shitty beers for beer of the week. I gotta say.
Well, that's what me and Mike were talking about before this. At this point, if we keep picking these beers that suck, then we're just going to call it beers that exist.
I
know.
I actually find it most interesting to try a beer that you haven't had in a long time, or just
So we should just get
and
new
then
ones
just
every
drink
time?
it on the spot.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
And we'll get new ones from now on.
Why
I
are we
guess.
picking Beck's and Keystone Light and shit? People
Yeah.
already know what that is, so that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes you gotta go in the mud. You know,
Well, you got to have bad beer to know what
No,
good
that's
beer is.
sometimes you forget to get a beer of the week,
Yeah,
and then you go.
sometimes,
I
every
remember
time.
this beer
Every time.
exists. That's what I'm saying. It's called beers that exist now.
This beer is in the fridge. That's what it is. Beer that's in the fridge.
Yeah, that's actually more accurate.
Okay.
beer.
I think Kevin's got to talk about stuff. So.
Already, huh?
Yeah, we're moving on.
Does someone drink?
Okay, so we actually received an email on this. I didn't even know about the email until long after I already written my segment. I'm going to be talking about the Coney 2012 movement. And if you don't know about the Coney 2012 movement, which I know Alex doesn't,
Nope.
then you may find this a little confusing. But most people, I think, at this point have probably at least heard about this.
It's a social network meme.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll talk about the email a little bit. Taylor sent us an email basically saying that Coney 2012 is bullshit. And I'm not going to read the email because it's long, and two, several of the points that he's making in the email are things I actually wrote in my segment already. So I think he's kind of on the same wavelength with me. The only thing that is different is his opinion on the actual organization itself. So, we'll go into it. And if you want to get mad about it and send me emails about how I don't care about the kids in Africa, then go for it. But so I'm probably going to catch a little flack, I would assume, because there's so many people that are up in arms about this right now. But I got to talk a little sense, because there's a lot of Facebook zombies who are just reposting this Coney video to all their buddies and talking
Well,
about
you should
how
explain about the
important.
video first.
I don't even know what it is.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why I'm
that's what he's
prefacing
doing.
it. Will you shut your fucking mouth? So they're flooding my wall, for one thing. I fucking can't stand this shit when people all post the same thing and it floods my fucking Facebook
You don't
wall.
like groupthink?
Yeah, well, Anyway, it's accomplishing nothing just doing this. So we'll talk about what it is, though. If you're unfamiliar with Coney 2012, here's what it is. This is a movement that started recently. Now, this is several years ago. It originally started. But the actual thing called Coney 2012 started really recently. And the video was this week. So basically what it is, Joseph Kony is the leader of the LRA in Uganda. It's called the Lord's Resistance Army. And it's a private militant faction. And if you don't know anything about Uganda, that's fine, because all of the people who support Coney 2012 probably don't either. So
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter. All you really need to know is that Joseph Kony is a bad man. He is. He's a piece of shit. He's committed a lot of atrocities, definite war crimes, and a lot of them are classified as crimes against humanity. But most famous, because of this video that's going around, is his tendency to kidnap children and then force them to fight in his army.
Which has been done since the 90s.
Yeah,
in
but that's
Uganda.
not. Yeah, well, it has. It has in a lot of places, but that's not the point. That's not what I'm going into, though.
Okay.
There's no debate at all that Kony is horrible, and
No,
the
he's
LRA
an
is
asshole.
horrible. Like, they are. They're dickheads, and they don't. He should be taken in. He deserves to, at the very least, be arrested. Really deserves to get killed. But the other thing too is that his army, to begin with, was meant to fight the oppression of Ugandans, supposedly, but now at this point it really doesn't fight for anything. It's basically like, hey, I have power, fuck all of you. Like it's just,
Basically, like every other military coup
Yeah.
that happens in Africa.
So as I've said, the guy's an asshole. I'm not talking about him though. What I'm talking about is the Coney 2012 movement. There's a big difference. Now, this was started originally by a nonprofit called Invisible Children. And the reason they called it that is because they feel that these kids aren't being represented. They're just getting kidnapped and taken. And their focus is, as it says on their site, is to end the use of child soldiers in Joseph Kony's rebel war and restore LRA-affected communities in Central Africa to peace and prosperity. So there's a few issues I have with this right off the bat, which the biggest one is that these communities never had peace and prosperity. That did not exist. That has never existed in Uganda. It lies in the bottom 25% of perceived corruption in the world. Like, it is one of
the top 25?
Well, the worst.
Yeah, the worst,
It is one of the most corrupt nations on Earth.
Yeah, in the 90s, they went through a civil war, killed millions of...
It's about par for Central Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's like.
No,
now.
it's even worse. I mean...
No, a lot of the areas around there are about the same in terms of corruption. But what I'm saying is, like, this, it was never... It's not like this group came in and started fucking things up. They were already fucked up. It allowed them to rise and get, an army. But if you're going after the specific rebel group in a nation that has an extremely corrupt government, an extremely corrupt military, you're going to end up fighting the government politically just as much as you fight the group physically. That's just how it is. Now, they also failed to mention, and they actually went back on it a little bit and talked about it because people were complaining, but they also failed to mention that Uganda's government has never really been buddies with the U.S. They don't really agree with us on a lot of stuff, and we've had problems with them in the past. So now their military, Uganda's military, is known as the Uganda People's Defense Force, which, by the way, it sounds kind of like a Power Ranger spin-off to me. But they have a history of not getting along with us, and so cooperation in catching Kony is a problem in and of itself. That by itself causes a lot of problems. And beyond that, their military is known for enlisting children at the age of like 13. So it's like you're kind of pot kettle black here. Yeah. Like, you're not really making a big point by going after this one group specifically.
They should just go after child soldiers and everyone.
Well, in general, yeah. But anyway, Invisible Children's been successful in convincing the U.S. to send 100 soldiers to Uganda, and their goal is to train Ugandan forces and to strategize in the capture of Kony. That's what these 100 soldiers are there for. So they're not there to fight. They're there to teach them how to capture this guy.
It's interesting they went to the United States instead of like the UN or something.
Well, it's not that they went to the United States. It's because they're already here, and so they could just be like, "Hey, And the reason is one of the guys who made this group met a kid who was who ran from the LRA, and this is how he supposedly made his group, but really probably not. I don't know. It sounds like kind of a sob story but that's not really the point, though. The point is, listen, I'm all for taking down Kony. I mean, this guy's got to go, but this is not the one isolated problem in Uganda. It's not like this is the biggest problem in the world right now. Mm-hmm. And my problem is just with the inherent silliness of the whole movement, which is that, there's a long list of reasons. I'm going to try to be succinct about it a little bit, but one, Invisible Children's method for stopping Kony is to raise public awareness by encouraging high-profile politicians and celebrities to mention the video and spread it around to people so that everyone knows about it.
Tweet about it.
This has been working to their advantage in terms of, getting the video spread around because it now has over 65 million views.
Yeah, it's pretty viral.
Yeah. But it doesn't actually benefit the children in the LRA, and here's why. Public awareness doesn't solve this problem. This isn't a problem that can be solved by a bunch of people going, "Hey, look at this. Look how horrible this is." And here's the reason is...
Well, let's go to Smashburger.
Yeah, right.
And we're with Haiti.
Well, that's something I was going to talk about, actually, because when I was discussing it with you, he mentioned that. And, what happened to Haiti after
people were like, "Oh, my God, this is terrible," and they donated, and then about 2 weeks later, something else caught their eye, and they forgot about it.
Yeah, 2 weeks later, they had to pay rent, and they didn't fucking care about anything else anymore.
Or
that's what happened.
They drove by a Smashburger, like I said. Ate that instead and forgot about it.
So here's the thing: if Uganda had a solid, stable government with a non-corrupt military, this military group would not be able to exist in the first place. You don't see private military groups popping up in the U.S. You know why? Because we have
Stormfront. Sorry.
don't. No, this is a completely different thing. This is not even close. So, listen, they wouldn't be allowed to operate there if we helped give them the tools to have a stable government. But that's not what this group wants. No. They just want to stop the LRA. They don't want to give Ugandan people a stable government. They want to help Ugandans.
It's too fucking complicated.
Just the kids. Yeah, right? You know, because that's not complicated. Stopping a private military corporation in a company that, in a country that is across the ocean and you don't know anything about. But, you know, that's fine too. So anyway, you know, that helping them form a stable government that isn't super corrupt would benefit the entire nation, but hey, you know, we'd rather just stop this group. Now, the problem is we're relying on a group of people who know nothing about the situation to solve it. It doesn't work like that. That's not how it works with situations like this. Because
Americans are good at, though.
Because, well, that's the problem, though, that the U.S. doesn't have any say in this situation. Like, we have nothing to do with this. So,
oh, yeah, we do. It's just call them a terrorist, and then, you know, we'll go bomb them or something.
Well, they're already classified as terrorists, so don't...
Then why aren't we bombing them?
I don't know, man. We should.
Also, they don't have oil, that's why.
Yeah, they don't have shit.
Another problem with the whole thing is that Invisible Children hasn't proven to be a reliable charity. Now...
Not at all.
Now, okay, well, what I'm going to say, you might not agree completely with what I'm going to say, because I have some opinions on this. One of them... I think this is actually the most minor of all of the problems with this. And the reason is because there are way more corrupt charities out there. And upon a lot of complaints to them, they did open it up and become a little bit more transparent. They have released a lot of their financial info. Now, the head people in Invisible Children are making $90,000 a year, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But when you compare it to some other charitable organizations, look at Susan G. Komen, or something like that.
Yeah, they make like millions.
Yeah, well, fuck them, exactly. Yeah. I mean, these guys, I honestly do believe that these people want to stop the LRA. I think that's why they exist. I think that's why their NPO is around. Mm-hmm. They're not just there to make money. But the problem is that it has nothing to do with what their intentions are. It has to do with what they're accomplishing. And I have no reason to believe that they could ever do it with the methods they're using.
Their methods are dumb.
They're dumb. That's how I feel too. So, you know, that's the least of my problems with them is that I don't think that this thing is a scam. I just think that they're misguided in terms of like how they're going to accomplish their goals. So, anyway, them wanting to help doesn't make them more effective. That's not how it works, you know. So, like most agenda-driven sob stories, though, a lot of the information in the video is very vague. And you know, there are people who have been contentious about it, claiming that some of it's bullshit or, you know, they're stretching the truth or, you know. But whether that's true or not should be left up to someone who has more time and a better knowledge of Uganda than me. So I'm not going to say I know whether it's true or not because there are a lot of... But the video is very vague, though. I will say that. There are a lot of points... And I watched the video. Just like, you know, I don't think that you should ever go, this is bullshit, and just go... I'm not going to watch that. You know, you should watch it. Everyone should watch stuff like that and try to understand. But then I'll go into that a little later. So the problem I have, though, is that there are other charities that have been way more proven to help people, like, you know, Doctors Without Borders, stuff like them, where you put your money in and it's proven that your money is going to go toward helping people. Mm-hmm. With this, you don't know that it's actually going to help anyone. Now, it might be going toward people who are trying to help, but that doesn't mean that they're going to. So that's a big thing too. But the real qualm I have with the whole situation is the attitude of people who are trying to promote the video.
Yeah,
the Facebook activism.
Yeah, it's slacktivism, which is the stupid term for people that basically they go, I'm helping by forwarding the video to 5 other friends.
Effect.
Yeah, well...
I'm going to stand here and say, fuck these corporations and do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. What are you going to do about it? And that's the problem. People think that sending around a link is going to help something. Now, if you're going to donate, then great. But what's the point of donating if your money's not going to actually help the cause? You're just making yourself feel better. That's what it is. Now, the reality is that they want to train people. They want to train a corrupt military to take down one man by fighting his military group. And their goal...
Purchasing weapons.
Yes, they're purchasing weapons for them. Now, here's the other problem with that, too. Beyond that, what do you think a corrupt military group is going to be? Because Ugandan has already said that the LRA is a terrorist group, and they are they are very, very adamantly against the LRA. The Ugandan military is. Now, what do you think they're going to do if LRA people show up? Do you think they're going to try and capture Joseph Kony? Or do you think they're going to shoot all the kids that he has in his military?
No, hey, Uganda does not have a history of civil war and genocide at all.
No, not at all. I think that this military would probably be very, very, understanding towards these kids that are shooting guns at them.
Yeah.
Now,
That's why you got to use precision airstrikes.
so that's the point. The children that you're trying to protect are the ones who are going to end up dying for this guy.
Yeah.
And, it's common sense. And I haven't heard...
Anybody say anything about it?
It's funny, though. I have the one person I actually heard say that specifically, other than me. I mean, I'm the first... When I wrote it, I didn't read anyone say that in all the stuff I read through. The only person who said it was the guy who emailed us. He said the same thing. Like, these kids are going to be the ones that have to get shot for this dude. Because it's not like he's going to be on the fucking front lines. No. He's not even going to be near the fighting at all. So it's like... And then the big thing, and probably the most important one to me, is that this whole movement fails to include the most important group of all, which is the Ugandan people. They have nothing to do with this movement, which is completely based in America.
But isn't that classic American political?
It is. It's Iraq.
Though?
It's Iraq.
Or
it's the
Syria.
Same thing. Or all of them.
No, we're not doing anything in Syria.
Yeah, right. What they do isn't important because this is what they want.
Yeah.
But how
you talk to them.
Yeah,
you call them up
exactly.
on the phone. Yo, what's up? How's it going? Oh yeah, this Kony guy's pissing me off.
And it's funny because if you read up on it, and I did quite a bit of research for this thing, and obviously I'm not talking about numbers because I don't see the point in talking about numbers when I'm not a professional. I don't know enough to talk, but I've read a lot on it, and the response of Uganda itself, like the people in Uganda, has been very negative.
Yeah, well, I think of like China came over like, hey, we have to save all these Americans from eating shitty food all the time and gave us good stuff.
Yeah, well, it makes them look.
What are we talking about?
It makes them look like helpless, pathetic idiots.
Yeah.
The way that we're treating them, we're treating them like these guys can't help themselves, so we need to do it.
That's everyone's view on America. So
yeah, and And so we're making them look like they can do less on their own soil than we can do with Facebook and Twitter, which is not the truth in any way. And then beyond that, it just makes it look like we have that attitude toward them. Wouldn't it be better? And this is what I said earlier. That's what I touched on earlier. Wouldn't it be better to empower the Ugandan people to fight corruption? And to not allow these militant groups to fuck up their lives in the first place.
No, because who's going to mine our rare metals?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now, when it comes down to it, this turns into something that I've talked about. That's it. That's the rare metal. So when it comes down to it, this goes back to something that I've talked about many times on this podcast.
It's actually vibranium.
Which is that...
Get out. Get out.
Sorry, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. So the thing is, I've talked about this many times, which is that nobody thinks for themselves. It has nothing to do with agreeing with this movement. I think there's a lot of people that agree with this movement. I go, I don't think you should. I think this is kind of silly. But if you went, the first thing you do is you should watch this video, and then the second you finish watching the video, instead of sending it to your friends, you should go online and start fucking reading about that.
No.
Well, start learning.
You know what? This is like the exact same thing as SOPA.
It is
when you couldn't go to Wikipedia, they have SOPA. Everyone's like posting, "Oh yeah, call your thing about SOPA today." I wouldn't have known about this yesterday, but now that it's here, yeah, fucking do it. Because everyone else is talking about it.
Watching a 30-minute video does not make you an expert on Joseph Kony. Fuck, feature documentaries are 90 minutes. So really, you just watched a third of that. Does watching a documentary ever make you an expert on anything? It just gives you one point of view.
Billy Mitchell's a fucking asshole.
It gives you one point of view on one subject without understanding the whole scope of it.
One of the things I saw on the internet that was interesting about this is someone was basically trolling other people as being like, so you watch this video, that's great, find Uganda on the African map. Yeah. It's like these people wouldn't know.
And I know quite a bit about Uganda, and I didn't know about this. And I got a good dose of Kony smug, if you know what I'm saying, which is
hate that
like,
shit.
Oh, you haven't heard about Kony? I'm like, who the fuck's Kony? And it's like, oh, he's in Uganda. I'm like, yeah, that's why I haven't heard. I read the news I read multiple publications. No one
Well,
ever
you should
talked
know.
about
You're
this
not
guy.
helping. Neither are you.
Yeah. You know why they haven't talked about him? Because no one gave a shit until this 30-minute video
Yeah.
came out and it got a bunch
Also,
of views.
it's funny,
That's all it is,
the
man. I hate that shit.
4chan troll where they posted Carl Weathers on Facebook and it's like, I like this guy. And it was like Carl Weathers from Predator.
Yeah, it
That
was,
was great.
people
and
are-
all these people got really mad and
It's like,
there's-
see, you don't know jack shit. Because
yeah, because they don't. These people, it's the same exact. That's a pretty great prank, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh my
Whoever
God.
thought of that is great.
Oh
But
my god.
I don't know which is worse, that they
That's
got
ridiculous.
angry over something they have known nothing about, or they couldn't identify Carl Weathers.
No, or they they haven't seen Predator. What?
all these people shitting on the Invisible Children movement, I don't fully agree with the fact that I don't think they're idiots or that they're not trying to help. I just think that it's not going to help.
I think
that's more.
I think the
important.
problem is they're having the wrong reaction to the video. The video is meant to bring awareness, and the awareness is supposed to allow you to educate yourself and want to know more about it. But instead, they're saying, "No, this is bad," and just
Yeah, but the problem is though. I disagree though. I completely agree with what your point is,
Yeah.
but the video. If you watch the video, have you watched the whole thing?
not the whole thing.
Let me tell you, the video does not promote that. The video promotes you sending it to
Money, well,
everyone,
because it's a
and
charity.
and donating. It does not say go and read more about this, and I think
No,
it's
of
because
course
they
not.
know that the more people read about it, the more they're going to be like, well, there are other facets to this problem. Like it's not just this simple problem.
My biggest problem with the whole thing is their strategy is bad.
Yeah.
It is a bad strategy. They want to do Bay of Pigs. Which
Yeah,
is
no,
what
you're
you
right.
said, and I said that to
Well, I
Ellie,
said it to
actually.
you, too.
Yeah, like everyone said it, like without us even knowing that the other person said it. We're like, this is Bay of Pigs. Dude, what if that's not successful? What happens?
Well, then we don't get cigars for 80 years.
No, yeah, in that case. But no, there's a counterattack, or people die. Like exactly what the person
Well, yeah,
said
they're
in the
gonna.
email.
The other problem too is that already this is within days of this. I mean, it's not like Uganda's a presence on the internet or anything like a big presence, but within days of this, people reported from the LRA that they were like, yeah, he knows about this shit. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna be even harder to find now.
Yeah.
It's not like he's gonna make himself visible after he knows that the U.S. government is training people to fight him. He's gonna be like,
That's not exactly a bad thing. I mean, the less hidden he is, the less likely he can do stuff. So
well, that's true in a sense, but that all because he is
has
hard to
lackeys,
find
yeah.
doesn't mean that his organization is going to be, So, I mean, beyond that, though, I mean, the point is, it really has nothing to do with this whole movement. It has to do with the same attitude that everyone has, which is that you once you see something that makes you mad, you instantly go, we got to stop this, and that's not what it should
and
be.
then you
It
eat
should be-
Smashburger, like I said.
Well,
just forget about
well, no,
it.
it happens. That happens in a few weeks, but at first, everyone gets up in arms. What it should be is it should make you go, I want to learn more about what's going on in this
It's the
situation.
same problem with like the Iraq War and stuff. It's like, Saddam's a bad person. We have to get rid of this guy, and then they just forget about it.
Yeah, well, Saddam was a bad person, but
Yeah.
did we need to enter a war for with no real
A
provocation?
million people have died, so it's like
Yeah, and it's like
That's a whole
it's
other
the same
thing.
problem. It's the same problem. It's on a smaller scale, but so just think for yourself once in a fucking
Yeah,
while.
I hate people that don't think for themselves. So
And also, because they've done a lot of psychological studies on this, clicking a thumbs up button on a Facebook fucking story like Coney 2012 does not make you an activist. Don't feel fulfilled like you did anything, because they found this.
People said that they thought it.
No, they've done studies on it. And people actually get a sense of accomplishment when they do it for products even.
Yeah, it's like buying organic people. It's
yeah.
Dude.
So it's like, oh, I bought these Nikes, and you click a thumbs up, you go, oh, well, I helped this good product. I helped it.
Yeah.
And they feel accomplished.
Oh my god!
that reminds me
They've done clinical studies
a little
on it.
bit
It's
off.
crazy.
Same type of thing that we were watching a Penn and Teller episode about being green once, and they'd go around to people in their cars like if they have a truck. So you owe us like like $1.20 fee for using up this much greenhouse gases and stuff like that. They went to one lady. They said, "You owe us like 17 cents for all what you did today." She's like, "Oh, really? Here, I'll just write you a check for $25 right now. Here, just take what else? What else can I give you?" They didn't say who they were or anything.
Yeah.
She just came up with a
Yeah,
clipboard and said, here, you owe us 17 cents for this. And she just wrote them a check for more money.
Yeah, I remember she asked, "Can I pay more?"
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
like,
she asked.
fucking
Can I
kidding
pay
me?
more?
A fool in their money.
Yeah, well.
Dude. Those
So
people.
I went way over with
Yeah,
that.
that's fine.
That's fine.
But I really,
That was interesting.
I just wanted to talk about Coney because I feel like it's the big news this week, and if I don't talk about it this week, I'll never hear
You know,
about
you
it
can get a
again.
good hot dog
so.
there.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Coney 2012, is Kobayashi or Joey Chestnut going to
No,
win?
Kobayashi's out,
Coney
man.
2012. Oh, yeah, he got
He's
banned.
banned.
Did he get banned?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Joey Chestnut's better than him.
Let's talk about
America.
He
Some
reclaimed
jingles.
it though, didn't he?
Okay, so,
Chestnut won.
look, it's another music segment, first off.
Cool.
Sort of.
Sort of. So, popular music and commercials has always been a point of contention for lots of people. You know, oftentimes critics will call the groups...
It
you
can
know,
only be Jimmy.
Sellouts.
Yeah, sellouts. For taking their, like, beloved song and tying it to some random car.
I love
bullshit.
listening to Led Zeppelin every time I see a show.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you mean
Or
the
like The Who and
oh,
Nissan.
You mean the Sam Adams song?
It's a Sam Adams song.
Samuel Adams, the beer in the commercial.
It's a song.
Who do you love?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the only thing. I can't think of that song without thinking of Sam Adams. It's impossible.
So,
It doesn't affect me because
So-
I already listened to George Thorogood when I was younger.
so you guys gave some good examples, but like famously, like when Michael Jackson bought the Beatles music rights,
Yeah.
he then sold the use of Revolution to Nike, and then like Paul McCartney got all pissed off and said it was distasteful, disrespectful.
Yeah, he's
So-
right.
Yeah. You know, you got the deal on that, but I'm not wanting to talk about that specifically because many people bitched and moaned about that practice. Instead, I want to talk about a phenomenon that is increasingly occurring.
It's the opposite, almost.
And what I think is even worse,
Yeah.
unknown artists generating hit songs from having the songs in the commercials. So let's play the first clip.
All right. Well, this is the background?
Yeah, background.
Okay.
Yeah. So this, you remember this stupid thing, fucking dumb Coke song? Yeah. If I could teach the world to sing.
That stupid song.
So this is that song from 1971. I like Teach the World to Sing. And it was performed by the Hillside Singers. And this isn't exactly the same as my later examples, but this song actually became a hit. This was played on the rate. This was number 7.
This is the diversity commercial, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was number 7 in the country in 1971, and it was number 1 in the UK. It was the number 1 song.
Crazy Frog.
Yeah. Well, I was going to bring that up later. Anyway.
Coke is just smiling so hard that.
So somehow people heard this song and ad, and they went, I want to listen to this on my own leisure time. Coke, 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 if I could have a Coke. Yeah.
You know what you should call this segment? The Monkeys.
Yeah.
That's what you should call this segment.
Oh my God! So
Because
true.
That's you could kind of put that in this category, but I don't think you can because that's a show.
Well, the Monkeys
But-
was a product, though. Their whole band was a
But
product.
It in itself is a product, though. So
But
they're
they're
promoting themselves.
Almost worse than that.
Right, I guess.
No,
It's bad.
I
I don't-
disagree personally.
I don't know
but-
if it's worse or better, but it's still terrible.
Oh, it's terrible.
Hey,
yes.
we're the Monkeys.
Yeah, shut up about
So-
the monkeys.
Now, this is just my theory, but like many things in the 70s, I think society was ashamed that they allowed a soft drink jingle to become a hit song. So people collectively went, they made a rule. It was an agreement. If one hears a new song in a commercial, it has to be marginalized and not taken seriously.
Where was this agreement? What are you talking about?
I'm saying, I think people just agreed just without even knowing.
Like silently.
Yeah, they went, wow,
Gentleman's agreement.
we made this song a hit. We should be ashamed. And they put that away with their bell bottoms and their,
Yeah.
whatever else, their fucking disco duck vinyls. So they fucking put that in the shame closet and just went, okay, we learned our lesson.
Oh,
So this-
Disco Duck.
So this agreement was honored for many years, and while music continued to suck, people were happier. The median income continued to increase. Unemployment was 5%. You don't think they're related, but they are. So fuck you, okay? But then the late '90s came the dreaded cross promotion.
Yes.
One day, some marketer realized that in their ad, they needed something outside of their brand. So an example is maybe that you're promoting a movie theater, and in the TV plug for that movie theater, you show a kid drinking a soda. Well, before, the soda would have to be some generic label, just like it would say soda on it.
Yeah.
Instead of like Coke or Pepsi, because you didn't want to get into legal troubles. Then one day, someone realized, hey, why don't we just call Coke and ask them if we can use their label? Seems innocent enough, right? But then the idea evolves. Now Coke wants to have a say in the marketing message. So now both of you are making the ad, which is good, because now you get to share the expense of the marketing. So that's kind of good, actually. But no, wait. In the ad, you also need a baseball bat and a car. So now you need to partner with Louisville Slugger and Chevy because, hey, if you're going to be working with Coke, what's the harm in working with a few more companies? Oh, and you need that song in the background. Which leads me to this new phenomenon. So, as an unknown artist, you have probably no money and maybe some pittance label deal on one of the major Big Four music factory label bullshit machines. So, as part of this shit-spewing machine that is major label music, your band has cost the suits considerable amounts of money in their attempts to monetize your band. Unfortunately, your band isn't making money, though. And understandably, the label doesn't like this. So you're an A&R exec sitting there going, how do I make money with this band? Suddenly your phone rings and it's that Coke guy making the movie theater commercial. He says, hey, you got any upbeat music I could use for this ad? The A&R exec goes, hey, actually I got that one Who song that was in the Nissan. And then he goes, wait a second. I got a band that's losing me money. If I can shove them in this ad, I can make some fucking money. I can monetize the band. Oh, and I can get them exposure too.
Ugh.
So the labels violated the old agreement.
Right.
They pulled that Coke vinyl out of the closet. But some unknown music in an ad isn't a big deal because when people hear the song for the first time in an ad, they'll go, this is in an ad, therefore it is not cool, and pretty much ignore it. Ah, yes, everything's right in the world. Everything's okay, and we don't have to worry about...
This is all.
Remember this song? Of course you do! It's that irritating iPod song from that dumb commercial where people are dancing like retards. Now, I would usually be able to ignore a jingle, but suddenly it became a hit on the radio. People had broken the sacred agreement, and in 2003, this song reached number 7 on the Hot 100.
Yep, I remember that.
You can stop this song. I don't want to hear it ever again, really.
Don't worry, it stopped itself.
Okay,
Did
good.
that really start out as just a thing for iPod?
Yes, it did. Well, I mean, they were on a major label.
It was
They were
already a
trying to-
band
Yeah.
and a song.
yeah.
They were
but,
signed, but...
That's what got it exposure and made it popular,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
And once the jingle dam sprung a leak, the hits kept coming. Feist 1, 2, 3, 4, which was from another iPod song. Axel Foley Crazy Frog, which was a Jamster ad, went number 1 in the UK. Their second jingle went number 1.
UK viewers should be ashamed for that.
Yeah, they should. Sarah
Entire
Bareilles.
nation should be ashamed for
Sarah
that.
Bareilles Not Gonna Write You a Love Song. That was originally in a Rhapsody ad. That was a top 10 hit. Rival Sons, they have a song in a Jeremiah Weed ad, which is pretty popular. Foster the People, Pumped Up Kicks, that's for Tom's Shoes. And finally, Fun, We Are Young, which is in the new Chevy Sonic ad that was played at the Super Bowl, which is the inspiration of my entire segment. This went number 1 this week. America's long-standing tradition of not allowing jingles to go number 1 has crumbled. It's finally happened. The jingle dam has completely fallen apart. Cross-promotion is stronger than ever. Unemployment is over 8%. Our nation is in ruins, but we can at least try to find out who are the people that allowed jingles to become hit songs. Now let's look through these. Okay, we got Feist.
Was it Hitler?
No, almost. They may sport the style of Hitler because it's cool. Feist, Rival Sons, Fun. Wait, this is all music hipsters listen to.
Really?
Of course, the hipsters did it. Why wouldn't those Facebook liking, Twitter following, Pinterest pinning consumer whores whose sole purpose in life is to find things which are cool and to tell you how cool they are through social media? Of course, they would find no offense in liking a fucking jingle because they themselves are gigantic billboards for the products they like and consume.
No, they're all against that. What are you talking about?
No. So we are powerless from our fate.
until it gets popular.
Can we just shove the hipsters in the
exactly.
closet with the bell bottoms and the...
Maybe that will happen. That's all we can hope. But we are powerless from our fate. Soon our world will be similar to the world portrayed in a certain 90s movie. A throwaway joke is now our reality.
Things aren't all that different. Perhaps you'd like to hear an oldies station. Oldies?
Yes.
Oh, what a relief!
This is the most popular station in town. Wall-to-wall mini-tunes. You call them commercials.
Here's that classic you've all been waiting for. The #1 request of the
Still
day.
Sandra Bullock's best
Armor
friend.
hot dog.
Indeed, Armor hot dog. Oh, wow. This is my fave. Even kids with chicken pox love hot dog.
So I gotta say something about Demolition Man here. I think that because I talk to people about this movie, I talk to people, and I don't know about you, but I heard people say like that movie's stupid, and I'm like that movie is
it's a
not
comedy. That
stupid.
movie's amazing.
No, that movie is smart because that movie. There are so many things in that movie. It's like this is exactly
always
the
remember
way
it,
the
yeah.
world is going. There are things. There are actually things in that movie that are real now. Like it's amazing. It's incredible.
Well, you pretty much, my conclusion says the same. Yep, soon we will live in a nanny state where jingles are our source of entertainment and the rich live above ground in a consumer horror world while you eat rat burgers with Dennis Leary.
Or Taco Bell. Or Taco Bell without salt.
You laugh, but when you're wiping your ass with 3 seashells, remember who warned you. And also, how the fuck is a jingle the #1? How the fuck?
Terrible.
That's
Fucking
that's
kidding me?
infuriating. That's infuriating. That was a good segment.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was
good.
really good.
I can't handle looking at what songs are in the top charts, man. Ugh.
Sometimes they're funny, and I
the-
think it's great, and then other times I'm like,
This
oh
is
my
why I'm
fucking
willfully
God, are you
ignorant to
serious?
popular music.
By
because
the
shit
way,
like this.
I didn't use this artist because she's already famous, so it didn't fit the commercial or the jingle segment. But Kelly Clarkson was the last artist in #1 before they were replaced by this other band. Mm-hmm. And the reason she went #1 was because her song was in a commercial. So there's actually 2 songs in a row.
What commercial was that?
It was for a Toyota Camry.
Oh, okay.
And she sang
remember that.
Stronger in it, and it became the #1 song. So actually, the 2 straight #1 songs in a row
Do you think
were from commercials.
Do you think car commercials sell music more than cars now?
I probably...
Because I don't think
me-
car commercials sell cars at all.
Let me ask you something. This is a thing I just thought about, and I don't know if this has any bearing, but do you think that this could be partially a result of the almost like schizophrenic amount of shit being thrown at people these days? Like, you know, I feel like almost a lot of the time people can't even pay attention to anything over 10 minutes. Like if it's 30 seconds long, they can latch onto it easily. And I think that's why ads, like a lot of people remember ads so easily and stuff like that, is because they have so many things flashing in front of them all the time that something that's 30 seconds long, they can go like, oh, that song. Oh, that song. I remember that song. I remember that little piece of that song. I don't know. Maybe that's
I think people are just so inundated with advertising that it's just become an effective way to consume leisurely things.
Yeah,
too.
I feel almost like advertising has become a form of entertainment now.
Yeah.
And it's disturbing.
It's only because, though, it's because everything advertises.
Everything does now.
Yeah, that's the problem. Everything has advertising in it. So
it's so ingrained. It's so ingrained now that I don't think that there's a difference between ads and the entertainment that they're between. Like, it's almost incredible.
It's really depressing.
Well, go take your blood pressure medication. We're going to go on the top 5.
Yay! So we got a bonus.
Yeah, the bonus one, I'm just going to say, fuck any staffing company that posts on any of the job boards like Jobbing or Career Builder or Craigslist, anything like that. These are like Robert Half, K-Force, Cyber Coders, Lotus. Who else is out there?
Are you saying fuck them who do a certain thing or just fuck them all?
I'm saying fuck them because, 95% of stuff on these job boards are them, and they never give any information about anything. And
Volt Technical.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it always ends up being just the biggest piece of
All
shit
contract
job.
the higher jobs. Fuck them. Anyway, moving on to number 5. Take your baby to the movies, Alex. I think-
So, oh my God. So, a friend of mine, she was on Facebook, and there was an ad for or it was someone posted on there or something like that, and it said, "Take your baby." Take your baby matinee to the movies. Take your baby to the movies matinee, March 6th. So it's like go there at noon. It's only at one showing, and it was for The Vow.
Yeah.
So you go to
Broken
the movies.
mothers.
I'm guessing it's like just.
loveless mothers.
I don't think it's supposed to be couples. I think it's actually only supposed to be a mom and the baby.
Yeah.
So mom and the baby, everyone's there with their babies. They're watching The Vow, listening to crying the whole time.
So do they only let
That's what I wanted to know.
That's
Can I go without a baby?
Imagine no.
He has the greatest idea. Is someone goes, we go. One of us goes as a mom. One goes dressed as a baby.
That would be incredible.
And we just yell and scream.
Yeah.
Just imagine the person who went, I'm going to go watch The Vow today. And they showed up at that showing.
I think it would be the greatest thing ever. I'd be like,
They probably thought it was the end of the world. Like, whoa, it's like Mad Max in here. I gotta leave.
They probably just killed themselves.
My question is, the first baby that starts crying is going to start off a cascade of baby crying because that's just how babies work.
Yeah, that's the thing. What do babies do in nurseries? One baby cries, they all cry. So why is it smart to put a bunch of babies together?
And the vow makes people cry. Oh.
Well, to make babies cry.
That was a joke.
Okay. Number 4.
Don't take your baby to the movie theater no matter what.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Number 4. 5 favorite films with Megan Fox.
I don't think they're as bad as Katherine Heigl's.
First off, I have to clarify. When I first heard this, I thought it was the 5 favorite
her
films
favorites.
of critics. Yeah, it's her favorite, not the favorite films that she was in.
I don't think they're as bad as some other ones I've seen on there.
This is pretty fucking bad. Okay, so...
But they're ones that I would think she would pick. So
Did she say
first
Transformers?
one? No.
Fuck no.
No one will pick Transformers. Okay, except for maybe like a 6-year-old. It's cool.
I've heard multiple people say it was one of the best movies they ever saw. So you're wrong. Anyway,
Great.
go on.
The animated movie.
Good for them.
We're going to read the...
Yeah. Okay, so the first one,
You got the touch.
Lord of the Rings trilogy. Not really a movie, but...
A lot of people pick that. A lot of people pick that on there.
Sure, whatever.
Fine. Yeah.
Not offensive, I guess.
Wizard of Oz. Lots of people pick that.
fuck
I
that
don't really
movie.
like that movie.
Fucking hate Wizard
Again,
of Oz.
sure, whatever, because
Yeah.
you hear it all the time.
Number 3, we're getting a little weird now.
Uh-oh.
How to Train Your Dragon? Now,
That's-
good movie.
That's not that good.
5
Is it-
greatest movies.
Is it like that? It's not that memorable.
Well, no, it's movies she's seen,
Yeah,
so maybe she hasn't
I
seen
agree.
it.
I like
Yeah,
that.
she has.
I really liked that movie when I watched it, but
It's not like we're like, oh yeah,
I've seen it
want to watch
twice.
it again. Yeah,
I've
it's
seen
like-
it twice now, and I don't really remember it that well. Like, it's not a very memorable movie. I don't know how that would.
Okay, so the fourth one, this is
She
when
must have
it gets
just saw it
really
the day
good.
before or something.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda 2.
The second.
Second one.
Well, I didn't read what she said. I just
I
scrolled
really
down.
love kids' movies. I watch them constantly. I don't know. It's nostalgic, I guess. I don't know why I love them so much.
Well, because you have the intellect of a child.
She's giving an excuse for why she picked it.
She actually doesn't even understand why she picked it. She doesn't even understand. She's like, I don't know why I just said that, but I did enjoy the Jack Black shenanigans.
And the best one.
5 best movies ever.
No, you didn't pick the best one yet.
No, I know. I left it last. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trilogy.
The trilogy.
The whole,
all three as a whole.
deal. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were watching number 2 last week,
That movie's terrible.
which is hilarious.
And you know what's funny?
we were
though?
dying laughing.
That movie, she included the third one.
I know.
In her-
That is-
like that's not like
Oh.
she didn't say like
Ninja Turtles
Ninja
fans
Turtles
do not
1 and
like
2 or something.
Kids don't even like 3.
No one likes 3. 3 is fucking awful.
I gotta say, Kevin has a DVD of number 2 of Secret of the Ooze. We put it in.
So-
We watched the trailer, and I realized when we were watching the trailer, I'm like, Vanilla Ice is going to be in this trailer. I'm like, he has to be. He showed up, and they showed him 7 times in the
7
trailer.
times in the trailer, yeah.
Wow.
He is the most memorable
See,
part.
I think the reason, like, these are
Go Ninja, go
these are her
Ninja,
5 favorite movies. The thing is, I think she's only seen maybe like 7 or 8 movies. So
That's possible. She hasn't seen any since she was a kid.
She only watched Ninja Turtles all the time, and she watched How to Train Your Dragon yesterday.
I will say this totally makes it understandable why she was in Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
It's
she
like,
doesn't
oh.
understand.
Yeah, see, She goes, the original 3 are just great. Sings. Says she sang this. Go Ninja, go. I just really loved those movies.
Yeah, this woman is basically a child.
Yeah.
She's an adult.
Hey, look at all this money I got because I'm hot.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably a result of that. Not having to ever think about anything. Because you go, hey, look at me. Look at me.
Yep.
Here's some money.
Okay, I'll look at you,
Look at
and
me.
I'll put you
Speaking of
so
people-
other people can look at you.
Speaking of people with money, number 3, Ann Romney. I don't consider myself wealthy.
Yeah, so Mitt Romney's wife stated...
Before Super Tuesday, so no one talked about this.
Yeah, she stated straight up that she does not consider herself to be wealthy. Now, just as a little frame of reference, they're worth over $200 million, possibly up to $250 million. So, that's not very wealthy. But her quotes are my favorite, though, because this is what really makes the article great. It's not the fact that she said that, because that's stupid, but she said, we can be poor in spirit, and I don't even consider myself wealthy, which is an interesting thing. It can be here today and gone tomorrow. Listen, $250 million cannot be gone tomorrow.
Oh, they're that rich?
Ask
They're
Allen
that rich?
Iverson.
Yes.
Holy shit. Talking about money.
Now, also she said, and this is what I love the most. This is fucking great because it's so
$250
funny.
million. She said that. Are you fucking kidding me?
How I measure riches is by the friends I have and the loved ones I have and the people that I care. And the people that I care about in my life, and that's where my values are and where my riches are. But she also said she doesn't consider herself rich, so she doesn't really like any of her friends.
I also gotta say that is the quintessential Mormon answer.
That's the quintessential Sherry Shepherd. What you don't know the Earth's round? It's like I was too busy feeding my kids. I mean, that's the same thing.
Yep.
That's the same thing.
It is.
Oh, I'm too busy loving my family to think about how wealthy I
I
am.
think she brags about how much Facebook friends she has. She's talking about how many her friends are her riches.
I bet you she doesn't have many Facebook friends.
You know what her riches are? $250 million. That's what they are.
Well, I don't
Guess
consider
what?
myself
Not her
wealthy.
family.
That money is not going to be gone tomorrow.
Because if you took the money away, you know how much the family's worth? Nothing.
Yeah.
So actually, she's completely wrong. The money is the only worth they have. And that's pretty depressing.
And Mormons
But
are pretty good
whatever.
with money, so...
Yeah. Number 2 is pretty close to home, actually. Arizona Senate passes bill allowing doctors not to inform women of parental issues to prevent abortions. So,
Prenatal.
Prenatal, sorry.
Yeah,
I
that's
read that wrong.
like,
Parental,
what?
I'm going to say.
Parental issues.
Basically, the idea is this bill would basically allow doctors to avoid malpractice suits, but at the same time, they're just not doing their job.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so if someone dies, by the way, that thing is a lawsuit.
Yeah.
That thing is just
Well, this is
that
probably-
is like
this is
a
probably gonna
nice
be-
little ticker, like ticking time bomb.
Well,
This is going to go to court.
The only thing I got to say about this is welcome to Arizona, because
Yeah.
the Arizona is constantly passing these insane things, and you go like, why? What are they thinking?
Is there just
And
one
it
guy in the
happens-
back just like writing up, let's get the most ridiculous shit we can, Jeff. Let's do it.
I don't know.
You know what it is? It's a fucking person who does baby deliveries, and he wants the money from the complicated births instead of the
people
abortions.
they're putting into these offices to write these bills are the same people that keep reelecting Joe Arpaio as
Yeah.
sheriff. This is the crowd that is in Arizona, and eventually all these people will die because they're old, and then there will be younger people. But
Young people never vote.
they
Doesn't
don't.
matter.
Yeah, it'll still be the same.
And then
It doesn't
we'll
matter.
get old and vote for Joe Arpaio
He will-
Junior.
Jr.
Yeah, I was about to say he's probably going to be pretty bad.
We'll end up voting for Joe Arpaio's dog or something.
Dude.
Yeah.
Why did Shaq have to get traded? I want him to be sheriff so bad.
Yeah. If he ran for sheriff, he
Shaq.
would have won, and it would
That
have
would have been
awesome.
hilarious.
Anyway, number 1, Obama documentary of Davis
Guggenheim.
Guggenheim. I can't even say that. The only negative aspect was too many positives to fit in.
So what did you say? Say it again.
The title?
Oh, no, whatever. I wasn't paying attention.
He'll talk
Yeah, I'll
about
talk.
it.
Go for it.
So, Davis Guggenheim is the douchebag that made An Inconvenient Truth, which was inconveniently, factually exaggerated bullshit.
Oscar winner.
crap. And it wasn't even a well-made documentary.
Yeah, but the Oscars, listen, the
Hey, the Cove
Oscars
won
are
too.
not political,
No.
okay? They are not.
And that's why when Michael Moore called Bush a poopy head. That's why he's never been nominated again.
But Tom Cruise told him when he won that he didn't win because of political reasons. He won because his movie was the best. That's what Tom Cruise
The Cove was also the best. That's why I won, right?
Well, that was also Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was in Cocktails, so
yeah,
that's a good movie.
Go on.
What was it? Strawberry Dreams, cigarettes, and cocktail dreams.
Alabama Slammer.
Cigarettes and cocktail dreams.
What are we not talking about cocktail? Let's talk about this.
Anyways, so David Guggenheim, he made a short film about the presidential campaign in 2008 for Obama, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I saw this thing. It is a giant pile of shit. It is the biggest cocksuck job ever. I watched it. It sucked. I ignored it. This came out like last summer. It was a while ago.
It's been around a while,
yeah. So
I didn't see it, but I remember it.
I watched it, vomited in my mouth, and then went on with my life.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Guggenheim, being that he's a douchebag, went on Piers Morgan, the fucking conniving cunt bag he is.
Mm-hmm.
And, Piers Morgan asked him about how it was to work with the president on The Road We've Traveled, which was a documentary.
Oh.
And Guggenheim wrote...
Fuck that name.
This is exact verbatim what he said. The negative for me was that there were too many accomplishments to fit. I have 17 minutes to put them all in there. Oh. I am in awe of him.
Yep.
Okay, so... You're a documentarian.
Why do people always talk like that about this shit?
Yeah,
I can't handle it. This is why I don't pay attention to politics.
I understand. I don't know
jizz
why.
all over whatever they agree with. They're like, oh yeah, this is so much better. No, this is so much better.
Have you seen Waiting for Superman?
No, I haven't.
You haven't? See, I haven't seen it either, but I will say I can expect no less from the guy who made Inconvenient Truth.
That's why I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, exactly. Look at how fucking one-sided that movie is, and then think about the fact...
This was made during the election cycle, before
2008.
Yeah, so this was before he was elected.
Yeah. And he was so great that was the problem. He was too great to document.
Yep.
I believe in global warming, but Inconvenient Truth is a one-sided piece of shit. That's what makes 60 Minutes a bad news journalism show, because it's one-sided.
Yeah.
When you're a documentarian, you're supposed to challenge your subject.
Holy
you're supposed to defy them and challenge them.
They always do. They always straw man it for a couple seconds. They're like, look, we tried. Devil's advocate.
People are supposed to decide for themselves, too, when watching it.
Well, no, that's not. That's true in the case of bad documentarians. Yeah. They try to make an excuse. People like Werner Herzog, people like Errol Morris. Errol Morris, right?
Errol Morris, yeah.
Yeah, people like that make their subjects, even when they're on their side, look like shit. Because that makes you a good documentarian. Because not everyone's a piece of shit in some way.
I mean, how can you even make a good documentary if you go in and go, yeah, I get to work with the first black maybe president. Oh, goody. I'm so ethnic. I'm from this black president.
Speaking of strawmans.
I mean, what a fucking hack. God damn it.
Isn't the point of a documentary to show everything behind the scenes and not tell the truth about whatever's going on instead of just picking the good things?
Yeah, good documentaries are supposed to show everything and leave the decision.
Exactly. That's the entire point of it. Oh my God.
This was released a year after he got elected. So it was very easy to challenge Obama, because all you had to do is go, look at all the shit he said on camera and look at all the shit he didn't do. Look at the exact opposite shit he did.
Yeah.
But no, of course, this guy's not going to do it, because he literally thinks he's perfect. Which no one's perfect.
Doesn't matter.
It's
leader gonna have bad presidents forever. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it's
leader worship.
Who cares?
Yeah.
And this guy will continue to make informative documentaries.
What makes me wonder, though...
Everything's always put on the president,
the thing
too,
that's funny is Waiting for Superman was very highly reviewed, though. It was liked.
Yes, and the good reviews of that I've read, the ones that were well written, said it was one-sided.
Yeah. Well, the thing I'd like to see,
because they weren't on that side.
The thing that I'm wondering is, maybe he said this. Do you think that he's going to maybe be able to make another one?
Oh, yes.
You think so? You think they're going to make another one?
Yeah, I'm sure the head of HBO documentary films, which, by the way, is Alexandria Pelosi,
Where have I heard that name
I don't
before?
know.
I don't
You know, I'm sure she's going to pick up Guggenheim again and go, hey, do you want to do 2012 too? And be like, oh, goody, I get to follow the black man some more. Yay! I'm so liberal.
Oh, my God.
By the way, he made an inconvenient truth. How much has Obama done for global warming?
A lot.
Nothing at all.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah,
that's
he
right.
made that solar company. How was it?
Oh, just Solyndra.
Solyndra, there we go. Yeah. Oh, what happened to them?
I think
They're still
they're
making solar.
successful.
Okay.
People still blame too much and put too much emphasis on what goes on in the country on the president. So
Yeah,
That's
also
true.
Yeah, but anyway, I think that was a good top 5. I enjoyed that. Thanks for listening to the podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can send them to podcast at
fucking hate those
T40's
documentaries.
or 218-666-8407. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
I'm going to make a movie film.
Diggity dog.